please put your hands together for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Hiba Rais. Toastmaster Hiba, it's your show now.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening to the Toastmasters virtual platform. Toastmasters is a public speaking forum in which professionals, teachers, students, and people from all walks of life come to meet to improve their public speaking skills as well as leadership skills. Toastmasters was basically formed it's a non-profit educational public speaking institution, which was formed back in 1929, and its headquarters is in Englewood, Colorado. And again, like I mentioned, it was formed for the purpose of communication, public speaking, and leadership. Sorry, it was founded back in October 22nd, 1924 by Raj C. Smedley. And it has more than 358,000 members worldwide. And one of the key interesting facts about Toastmasters is that it started admitting women back in 1973. Okay, and now I would like to explain the meeting segments. There are 3 segments. The first is I suppose this time you're going for the table topic session. And after that, we are going for the prepared speeches by the members. And after that, we'll be having the general evaluation, in which evaluation by the prepared speakers and the table topic master would be conducted. As well as the role holders will be explaining the reports.
So the grammarian's roles is actually to look for errors, language errors and grammatical errors in speeches, and suggest corrections at the end. The grammarian's role is also to look for creative usages of the language and highlight them. I'll be presenting my report at the end.
Today, I'm the word master, and the word of the day is blissful, which means extremely happy and full of joy. The word of the day is blissful, extremely happy, full of joy. I will also write it on the Zoom chat window. Thank you. Over to you.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you for this opportunity. I'll be the vote counter today. And at the end of every session, like prepared speeches or table topic speeches, you'll be sending a private vote to me in a private chat, and I'll be announcing the result at the end of the meeting. Thank you. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, the timer is TM Imran Rana. So please could you explain your role, TM Imran Rana?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Uroosa, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I'm playing the role of timer. My role is to make sure that the meeting proceedings are on time. There will be different timing for different segments. For table topic session, I'll share the green screen at 1 minute. Then at 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll share the yellow screen. At 2 minutes, I'll share the red screen. It means the speaker has to wrap up his speech, because after 30 seconds, the speaker will be disqualified. There will be no signaling for disqualification. So the speaker has to speak from 1 minute to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And for prepared speeches, mostly we have from 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll share the green screen. At 6 minutes, I'll share the yellow screen. And at 7 minutes, I'll share the red screen. And after 30 seconds, the speaker has to wrap up his speech, because after 30 seconds, there will be no signaling for disqualification. So the speaker has to make sure that he should finish his speech within time limit. And before that, I request every speaker to pin my screen, pin the timer screen. Over to you, Toastmaster Hiba.
Oh, after that, we have the listener, TM Shamil Sharyar. So please, Tim, Shamil, could you explain your role?
Toastmasters, am I audible?
Yes.
Toastmasters and yes. My role is the listener. I'll be writing down interesting phrases or sentences, and you will have to guess who quote this statement. And the speaker who quote this statement is to remain quiet. Over to you, TM Arif.
Now for the table topic session, because it's we have the table topic session first. So I'm going to call upon the table topic master, TM Latif Mansoor Ali. So TM Latif, the stage is yours.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Today I am time constraint also, so let's start and hurry up for the table topic. Anyone in the audience can participate. They just have to raise their hand or personal message me. The timer has already explained you. Whoever comes on the table has to speak to for minimum 1 minute, and yellow minute, when they will see at 1 minute 30 seconds, it will be a yellow light where they have to start wrapping up, and at the 2 they have to close their speech. That is maximum. 30 minutes grace period will be given. After that, it will be disqualified. You won't be considered for voting. Kindly pin the timer so that you can know. Most important, you have to use the word of the day, which is blissful. So are we ready? Can I invite guests, please, if possible? TM Ansa, if possible, if you can come and select a number so that you can see your topic.
Okay, fine. Am I supposed to click on number?
Yes, no, you just mentioned which number you're looking for.
Okay,
so I can give you your topic.
Okay, 6.
Number 6. I'll say the topic for twice, and then the screen will be off.
Okay, fine.
The right to hope is the most powerful human motivation I know. The right to hope is the most powerful human motivation I know. Over to you, TM Ansa.
Okay, fine. So am I supposed to start now?
Yes, you can think about it for 10 seconds and then.
Okay, fine. I totally agree with this thing, but because I personally feel that it is the blissful, those blissful people are the one who believes in hope, because hope leads us toward motivation, and motivation is the key of every success, is the key of our life for everything. You know that to live this life and to move toward further, the only hope is the only thing that motivates us toward good things and toward life and toward the relation and towards the prosperity, each and everything. I personally believe that blissful people are the one who believes in hope and who believes in motivation. And as far as motivation is concerned, there are many things that motivate us, but the thing that triggers our motivation is the hope. Hope for the goodness, hope for the prosperity, hope for the future, hope for the bright side of our life. And you know, I personally believe that without hope, no one can survive. And we are life, and this is the reason, but this is a hope that tomorrow will come. We all know that this world is going to be end, but this is our hope that triggers us, that moves us. Now a day will come that 15 September will come, school will be open, and every child will go to school, and mothers will have a good time. They will enjoy the morning shows again. This is the hope of a mother. And as far as fathers' hope are concerned, I think they are blessed now. They are blissful now because they are back to their offices and they are just away from their wives and their household works. And as far as the hope of our young children is concerned, I think right now they are quite disappointed because they have to go back to school now and they have to go back to their routine because they had their best life in the house and they were away from their studies. But I believe that hope is everything. Without hope, we are nothing. We are nothing. To have a blissful life, to have a prosperous life, to have a wonderful life, we all believe in hope. And this is the hope that moves us towards our destination. And definitely our destination. And we, being a Muslim, I strongly believe in this thing that Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is going to support us over there. And this is our hope over there as well. That he is going to support us and we will have a good life over there as well. So we believe in hope and we are just moving forward with our hopes. This is what I feel. And this is the right sign. Okay,
Great,
I still have 30 seconds.
Great, Ansa. Thank you very much. It was amazing. And it's true that hope is for everything, but not only for kids, for parents, for family, even for community, it helps. And thank you for giving, sharing.
And this is the hope that take us away from this pandemic situation. The whole world is just astonished how Pakistan came out of this, but we believe in hope. Yes. We believe in Allah. We just move without mask.
Can I invite Wajiha, please, if possible? Kindly switch on your camera and unmute mic, please, if possible. Can you take a number? Number 6 is gone already.
Okay, 3.
Number 3. One book, one pen, one child, and one teacher can change the world. One book, one pen. You have to speak for 2 minutes, okay. 1 to 2 minutes.
Right.
One book, one pen, one child, and one teacher can change the world. Over to you, Wajiha.
I think education is something that, as we all know, has changed the world for time. And it is not just important for education in terms of education across SECs and across differences, just for awareness, but also for opening up the mind. I feel like education is something that really changes how a person thinks, opens their mind, and gives them hope for the future, like the same in the same lines as the previous speaker was talking about. I, as a person, have always believed that in a country, especially like Pakistan, education will change a lot. It will change everything, probably. I've been involved in volunteering experiences before, and I've tried a couple of volunteering experiences, including making sure including giving sustenance in terms of food, giving sustenance in terms of clothing, in terms of leftover food also. But I feel like education, it has always
Talha, shall I continue or?
Yes, I think you should continue because there seems to be a technical issue.
Guest Naveed Sheikh, can I invite you, please?
Hello,
yes, Naveed Sheikh?
Yes,
yeah.
You can.
Can you select a number, please?
3.
Yeah, 6 is already gone. Sorry, what number?
3.
3 is done, sir.
You just select the 7.
7. Only in the darkness can you see the stars. Only in the darkness can you see the stars.
Okay. So whenever some sort of you feel some sort of fear, you face some sort of trouble in your life, you best skills and your best education to the world and best behaviors in the world, because if you live in a very blissful and happy life always, you won't be able to provide your best self. So I believe to some extent this statement is really true, because because travel stuff and nonsense stuff has to be in your life because it is because travels are there to teach you something new and they prepare you to become a very best version of yourself because you face troubles and darkness and fear and some sort of hopelessness, and that teaches you uh, new things in your life, and you can see new stars, the light at the end of the tunnel, and
Yes.
you meet new people. I think I am end.
Thank you very much. One more thing which Martin Luther has always said is, I can dream. And this dream is something which doesn't let us sleep. That is more important. Can I invite guests, Karim Megani, if possible? Select a number. He might be our last speaker. Karim, you're there?
You're asking with me, Karim Megani?
Yes. Yes, Karim Megani.
Okay. Thank you for selecting me. Anyways,
No, this is for guests only.
Okay.
No special favors.
Number 8.
Number 8, here you go. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Over to you.
Okay, education is something, when I look at the word education, it means to nurture yourself, to make yourself education is not something for me is like a school, university, or college. It's something which you learn from your life. So when you have that education, when you start learning, and as a Muslim, I can say, and even in all the if I look at all the books, all the holy books, they all talked about this education in that sense that, when you look at something which God created, and if you go and find about it, explore about it, that's your education. You learned it, you earned it, basically, and that's why you are in the world. So the word blissful is something when you see, for me, when you learn something new about God, if you learn about God creations, that is for me is the education. And it's one thing that, if the society learns about education, that, whoever got the opportunity to go to the school or university or college or this fantastic platform where we are talking to each other, where we are sharing to each other. So whoever get the opportunity to do this, and who doesn't have the opportunity to do this, they all can get education. They all can get, they educate themselves and nurture themselves, because God has something amazing available. And if we start to feeling that, if we start realizing what God given us, then it's a blissful feeling. It's a happy feeling. And I think that's the only thing I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Karim. Thank you. I really want to add more actually about it. Intellectual is what most of us are familiar with it, and it's more important to use practical it. Hi, Syeda. Can you switch on your camera if possible and select a number?
Actually, sorry, I have having camera issue.
No issues, no issues. Give me your number, which you can select which number you prefer, except 6.
I'll go with 10.
10. Here you go. If you have choice, then choose the best. If you have no choice, then do the best. If you have choice, then choose the best. If you have no choice, then do the best. Over to you, Syeda.
Okay. So we make lots of choices in life. Some of the choices are good and some of the choices are not good in a way they do not benefit us. But in order to select what's good and what's not,
She started well. We lost her, I think. DTM, can I use this time to call Hassan?
Yes, your desire was so strong that it manipulated the internet connection of Aisha. So please go ahead.
Hassan, please come over. Switch on your camera and unmute your mic, please, Hassan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Hassan. Please select a number, and you know the proceedings now.
Number 4.
Number 4. Here you go. Do what is right, not what is easy. Do what is right, not what is easy. Over to you, Hassan. Good luck.
Okay. So usually what we observe in life is that the right way is the long way and the easy way is the short way. And most people try to go to the easy way, but they ultimately end up in a very bad place. And although the people who go the long way, they end up on the right, they end up on their destination. And moreover, doing the right thing is always the best policy. You should never try to go for shortcuts, and shortcuts can lead you to places where you would not have imagined that you would end up. So I would say take the long way, but go slowly, but be let's say precise as to what your destination is. Moreover, as far as easy is concerned, usually things seem easy, but they are in fact not easy. As actually easy and hard is something we have a perception of. Nothing is easy or hard. It's just our mind that tells us if it's easy or if it's hard. And I think that's all I can.
Thank you, Hassan. Hassan, it's really nice to see each and every guest participating and has spoken almost all of their time. DTM Talha, shall I ask for the timer report if possible? Imran sir, yes, TM Imran, please.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Latif, for conducting an amazing session. Everyone is qualified. Everyone is qualified for voting except Syeda. Syeda. She couldn't complete because of technical issues.
Toastmaster of the evening, TM Heba, please continue.
Okay, moving on to the prepared speeches session. I call upon the first speaker, TM Maria Ahmed, and her evaluator, DTM Talha bin Hamid, to explain her objectives of the speech. DTM Talha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Today, our first speaker is none other than DTM Maria Ahmed. She is not only the daughter of founder and she is a speaker, and she's completed her DT journey once. Now she has restarted the Pathways journey. Today she will be delivering her from level 1, which is researching and presenting. And the title of her project is 14th August Celebrations. Right? DTM Maria?
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, table topic master, and honorable guests. Today, the topic of my speech is 14th August celebration, or how do we celebrate 14th August. My speech I'm giving my speech after the feedback of what I have received during my last speech. And how many of you remember celebrating Independence Day when you were young? I remember when I was young, I used to celebrate it with my friends in school. In school, we used to have lots of games, competitions, and some of the students used to prepare speeches regarding the Independence Day, and so on. Therefore, people all over Pakistan celebrate Independence Day with patriotic zest. Those who attend these gatherings are usually dressed in green and white, which are the colors of the national flags of Pakistan. People visit national monuments and places of national significance to celebrate the Independence Day. It is also a time to go and meet your family and friends and exchange gifts and visit the national spots. Pakistan's national flag is hoisted on public and private buildings, including houses, residences, and government and non-government organizations. And President and Prime Minister houses are colorfully decorated and colorfully lit with flags. And the Prime Minister and President also congratulate the nation and address the nation through various platforms and emphasize and lay emphasis on how the country was made and how can we take measures to improve upon it. Fireworks shows also take place at various spots to celebrate Independence Day. Pakistan's Independence Day also pays homage to the people who struggled and sacrificed their lives for the creation of Pakistan. A change of guard takes place at various spots, especially on the mausoleums of Muhammad Iqbal or Allama Iqbal, who was a poet, philosopher, as well as a politician, and also on the mausoleum of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who was the founder and creator of Pakistan. Events that take place are specially prepared, which includes special theatre shows, national songs competitions, and concerts also take place. Radio and television broadcast specially prepared songs and specially prepared speeches for the Independence Day. Independence Day is an official holiday in Pakistan. All the public transport remain closed due to this Independence Day, and traffic congestion is the common sight in the city due to Independence Day. You can see various spots such as Seaview and Frere Hall, and all these kinds of public parks also are quite rushed due to this Independence Day. And from the beginning, radio channels and TV starts to host the programs which are specially prepared for the Independence Day. And various TV channels and shows host these songs such as Dil Dil Pakistan and Jazba-e Junoon. So these can be. Pakistan Post has released 4 commemorative stamps, 3 of which depicted national monuments of Pakistan, and the 4th one is the motif, which can be easily seen. And these stamps were released on the occasion of first Independence Day on July 1948. And what is the other important point I have noted is that Google Pakistan has designed a special doodle which indicates various Pakistani symbols such as star and the crescent, national monuments and national places which depicts the Pakistan, so we can celebrate the Independence Day with patriotism, zeal and enthusiasm. Pakistan Zindabad. Over to the Toastmaster.
Next is, I call upon the next speaker, TM Ali Ashar Anjum, and his evaluator TM Latif Mansoor Ali, to explain the objectives of the speech. TM Latif.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and a special greetings to my target speaker, TM Ali Ashar Anjum. He is embarking on his pathway, Dynamic Leadership, Level 2, Learning Your Styles, Project 3, Introduction to Toastmaster Mentoring. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring and to share some aspect of previous experience as a protege. Speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. TM Ali Ashar Anjum. Stand on the shoulder of giants. Stand on the shoulder of giants. TM Ali Ashar Anjum. Good luck.
I believe that I am audible. Am I? Okay. The former president of United States of America, John F. Kennedy, once said in his speech that we must find time to stop and thank the people who make difference in our life. Who are those people who make difference in our life? In the blissful journey of our life, we encounter with many people, and some of them inspired us, and we learn from their experiences. And in our personality, our personality is highly influenced by the people who inspired us. Everyone says that behind every great or successful man, there is a woman. But no one ever quotes that actually the successful person is standing on the shoulder of the giants. Who are those giants? Those giants are mentors, are teachers who lift us up. Maulana Rumi was standing on the shoulders of Shams Tabrizi. Alexander the Great was standing on the shoulders of Aristotle. And I am standing on the shoulders of my respected teachers and my mentors. Since my childhood, I was always feel underconfident due to my standard and due to the mediocre academic records. Then I switched my school. And there I found some of the wonderful people of my life, my teachers, who encourage me, who promote me, and make me realize that I am the one who is going to fight the deficiencies I have. I remember till date that they used to say that we are your mentors. We are going to guide you, foster you. But you are the one who is going to change yourself. What I am today is due to those mentors. On my end, I always an adorable and obedient child, and always admire my teacher, respect them, and listen to them very carefully. In my blissful childhood, I was too short to see the things. Then my lovely father lifted me up so I can sit on his shoulder, and so I can see the things that I could not see before. Mentors lift us in a similar way. They make us see what we have not seen before. The mentors are the mirrors. Mentors are the mirrors who help us to identify our errors, who foster us, guide us, and make us to have a blissful life ahead. In every state of life, we always need a mentor. Initially, our parents, our mothers and fathers foster us, bring us up, and then We meet teachers in our school who guide us. And then, in every walks of life, we find lovely people around us who foster us. In Toastmasters, on the very first day as I entered into the room of the Beach Luxury Hotel in my first KTC meeting, then I didn't know that the person is stepping towards me is going to my mentor, my mentor, Toastmaster Umar Hadi. He made me realize that Toastmasters mentorship is the vital component. It acts as a catalyst in the upbringing of the Toastmasters in their pathways and also in their personal growth. And I must say, his precise and cogent feedback helped me to learn a lot. He not only did teach me about the communication skills, he actually managed my communication skills. Might be I have more potential, but it is very important to manage that potential in the right direction. And he did it. I believe so. And I am striving forward in my Toastmaster journey due to my mentor. In the end, I must say that mentors are the people who shape the world. And in today's world, we don't need Alexanders. First, we need Aristotles to produce and groom more Alexanders. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening, PM Hiba Rex.
A very good speech, PM Ashar and John. Indeed. Now I call upon the next speaker, TM Mariam Arif, and TM Babar Ali Hasnan is her evaluator. So TM Babar Ali Hasnan, could you please explain the objectives?
Thank you, Toastmaster Hiba. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hope you are all doing great. I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Mariam Arif on her speech that has a title, 2 Ways Through Which Coronavirus Pandemic Benefited the World. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to learn or review basic research method and present a well-organized, well-structured speech on the topic. And the duration of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Best of luck, Toastmaster Mariam Arif. And over to you for the speech. Thank you.
Am I audible and visible? Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. In the past few months, coronavirus completely changed the course of our lives. The country was placed on full lockdown. We weren't allowed to go out, socialize, meet our friends and relatives. A lot of people suffered from this viral disease, and many, unfortunately, even died of it. But even then, I was wondering if this pandemic had any positive impact towards the world. So I started searching the internet, and to my surprise, I found out 2 ways through which the world also benefited from the pandemic. We all know about the devastation and destruction it has caused. But today, I'm going to talk about those 2 things where the world has gained something positive from this pandemic. The first thing, that is something, if you look around, if you notice, you will realize that. And that is digital transformation in all walks of life. I mean, how many of you could have imagined attending Karachi Toastmasters club meeting through Zoom? A lot of people didn't even know about these softwares like Zoom and Google Meet, and me included, of course. But now knowing about these softwares and how they function is a prerequisite to your survival in today's modern world. According to a study by a cloud communications platform, Twilio, the COVID-19 crisis has sped up the digital transformation by a global average of 6 years. It has turned the COVID-19 crisis as the digital accelerant of the decade, the catalyst to digital transformation. And this is justified since everything is online now. From attending a university lecture, to ordering food, to shopping, to seeing a doctor, banking, businesses, attending social events, everything. This seems to be the new normal now. And fortunately, this abrupt shift to virtual operations and interactions has also caught the attention of our government institutions. As reported by the News International, the government of Pakistan has started many ambitious digitization and ICT enabling programs where modern technologies such as artificial intelligence, robotics, blockchain, Internet of Things will be used to enhance production and efficiencies in major GDP composition sectors like agriculture, industry, or the services sector. And so, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I can say that the COVID-19 crisis provided us a sudden glimpse of what the future world would look like. A world in which digital will become central to every interaction. And so, the faster we adopt and adjust to this, the better. And this is something we can surely learn from our own club, KTC. Now, let us move on towards the second positive impact, and that is climate change. Yes, climate change. Because as reported by BBC, we are living through the biggest carbon crash ever recorded. No previous wars, pandemics, or recessions have had such a dramatic impact on carbon dioxide emissions as this coronavirus pandemic had in those few short months. And so we should definitely thank COVID-19 crisis because we are living through an unrivaled drop in carbon outputs. And as trends suggest, the emissions this year will continue to drop by 4 to 8%, which, if estimated in numbers, would be somewhere between 2 and 3 billion tons of the warming gas. Now, is this magic? No, it isn't. All of this happened because the global demand for energy has fallen off a cliff. I mean, everybody's cut back on travel now, may it be by air or by road. And this is why the world is seeing the largest relative reduction in traffic, especially air traffic. And this is why the International Energy Agency's Executive Director, Dr. Faith Birol, has termed this as a historic shock to the entire energy world. Because not only this, but these full lockdowns have also brought the global electricity demand down by 20% or maybe even more. Now, according to a senior researcher, Glenn Peters at Cicero, he said that the emissions this year will continue to decrease. And if they decrease at the same rate every year, then we can reach our target of net zero emissions by the year. Any guesses? Any wild guess? Nobody? Okay.
Couple of years.
Yes?
In couple of years.
Not in couple, it would be by year 2050. If we continue to drop our emissions at the same rate, we would reach our target of net zero emissions by the year 2050. Now, obviously, we cannot spend the rest of our lives in lockdown with all of these restrictions, which certainly indicate towards one thing. And that is, we need more environmentally friendly policies, more clean technologies, which reduce our demands for energy. And so, fellow Toastmasters and guests, this is exactly what I hope the post-coronavirus world would look like. A world with more and more digital innovations and a world which is more environmentally friendly. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, TM Mariam, for such a wonderful speech. Now I call upon the next speaker, TM Amir Bilal. And I would like TM Mariam Arif again to explain his objectives, the objectives of the speech.
So Toastmaster Amir Bilal's speech is from Effective Coaching. This is the third level and the second project from level 3. The speech is titled as Survivor of a Bomb Blast and an Accident, and the speech timings are from 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of this project is so that the member can practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. And this can be any type of story. It can be something personal. It can be a well-known fiction, or it can be the storyteller's own creation. But what we have to really look for is a well-organized speech that is a story or includes a story. So over to Toastmaster Amir.
Am I visible and audible? In our early morning school parade, one of our teachers, Sir Maqsood, used to repeat 3 advices every day he would come in assembly and have a mic. 1, if you are stuck in a bog, do not react or move your body too much. And by not doing so, there would be more chances for you to survive in mud and get out. Number 2, if you happen to listen a massive sound of an attack or a firing, immediately lay down on a floor. Number 3, if you drive or ride on a speed you can control the vehicle on. And on 2 occasions, 2 of these advices saved my life. Madam Toastmaster, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guest. It was a beautiful evening of Friday, March 2010. I was coming back from coaching, having taken my coaching class, and I decided to buy some fruits from a nearby roundabout for my parents. And that roundabout was a kilometer away. And in the process of being there, I was barely a half kilometer away. And I could hear a massive sound bursting my ears. And I immediately get to the ground, covering my head with both my hands. And I could hear the meters of building crashing the heads of people, and I could hear the screams of people around who were injured for help. And I stayed on the ground, keeping my hands on my head like this. And I was completely motionless. And after about 5 minutes, I felt a tap on my shoulder. One of them saying, "He's injured. Put him into an ambulance." I was completely all right, but I couldn't move my body. Those 2 people took me up, helped me stand up, and I could see injured people on the ground. And it was completely a horrifying scene. Fellow Toastmasters, that exactly was a day when I decided I'm not going to live an average life. And that was the day when I certainly believed that we are not sure about our existence in our next minute. And I tried changing and transforming myself in a way that I could be example for youngsters like me. And this incident particularly changed my perspective for living my perspective of thinking, and my perspective for doing things. To follow this, it was the first day of a new year, and we were about to have the first meeting of Toastmasters of the decade. And I had a really, really important role in this meeting, and the role of Toastmaster of the evening. And that day, I decided to surprise my fellow Toastmasters by doing something special, by doing something different, and by doing something which was really, really unique. I bought some flowers, and those flowers were real magic. Everything was perfectly all right except one thing. That one thing was I had a terrible accident on the way. I was badly injured. And on that scene, right beside me, there was a trailer going. I was in the middle of the road. A youngster trying to overtake me hit me really hard, and I dragged for almost 20 to 25 meters. And that was the moment exactly when I felt an angel came. He put me on his wings, and I am completely safe. But trust me, my legs, my back was really, really wounded. That moment, when I got to the side, people came, they helped me stand up. I had two choices. One of them was to go to the hospital and seek first aid, and second was to be on time and be the Toastmaster of the evening. And I decided to go with second. This might sound a little stupid. I went in there, meeting was about to start, and one of the fellow Toastmasters, TM Asghar, saw me. My torn pant and dusty coat. He said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm perfectly fine." I acted as if there was nothing. But one of them, TM Imran, saw, "You're bleeding. You're not all right. You seriously need a medical help." I said, "Okay, wait. I'm going to check if first aid is in beach luxury is available." I went in there, and the guy on reception checked few things, iodine or some other stuff to clean those bones. And I took all of that. I came in a meeting, and the meeting had already begun. So I did not really have time to do that. I said, "I'm okay, I'm ready, I'm completely fine." And then Talha said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes, completely." I took the charge, and I distributed those flowers, and I became the winner of Big Four. Lesson learned: no matter how injured you are, all you need to realize is you always have flowers around. Feel the fragrance, forget the miseries of life, and have happiness in a moment you're living in. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
A very moving speech, TM Amir Bilal, and very emotional speech as well. But it was really lovely that you shared it was very lovely that you shared such an experience with us. Moving on, I'll call upon the next speaker, TM Rahma Uneeb, and her evaluator, TM Imran Rana. So, TM Imran Rana, please could you explain the objective?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Hiba. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today Toastmaster Rahma is delivering a project from effective coaching level 4, building a social media presence. The purpose statement of this project is the purpose of this project is for the member to apply his or her understanding of social media to enhance an established or new social media presence. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her experience establishing or enhancing social media presence. Time duration is 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Rahma, the stage is yours.
Toastmasters and guests, can you see the screen in front of you?
Yes, we can.
Toastmaster Imran, can I have a?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Toastmasters and guests. So most of you know that Karachi Toastmasters, promotes itself through certain mediums. And I feel that one of the reasons that all of the Toastmaster clubs in the country have been growing and you as a guest got to know about it, or you as a member are staying in the circle, is because they're doing better than they were and they're doing a good job with their branding. And that brings me to your personal brand. You see, you might think that you don't need to actually have a personal brand, but at some point in your life, you might feel like you are starting your own business or you're an entrepreneur, and you will have to use these skills which might help you to create a social media presence. So I had a community of Instagram users and Facebook users, and it was something that I was growing for, I guess it's been 4 to 5 years. And here are certain things that have helped me and I feel like might benefit anyone who can use these skills for the future. So the first thing that I realized was that it's very important to know what you stand for. So you can't be, a jack of all trades. It's nice to narrow down what are your key areas of interest, what are your passions, what are the things that sort of set you on fire. And for me, that looked like nutrition, and I would make healthy recipes. And so that was one part of how I shared and communicated with my community. The second thing that was the facet of my community was that I would write. And that's how it started. So writing and poetry is something that I do share on my Instagram and on my Facebook. And the third area is mental health and wellness. So whether that's a certain message or it's a question or it's a check-in, that is another area. And then reading. I feel like I was very passionate about reading, and how I covered that area was by making videos and having a review. Now, you might be thinking that this is some sort of, khichdi, some sort of bringing all of these things together and they don't really make sense. And sometimes it feels like that to me as well. But what I've realized is that if you can find a common thread in everything, and if you can sort of link it together, it becomes more coherent for the message that you're giving. So in all of these things, the message that was for me, clear for me, was that I was propagating wellness. So that could be through what I was reading, through what I was sharing, what I was writing, what I was eating, and that is how I connected to my audience. So if you can sort of link up your different groups of interests into one common theme, and your audience knows that your brand represents this certain theme, it's more easy for them to digest. And it's also when they think of you, they think of that one thing that's associated with you. So it's easy for them to remember. The other thing is that connection matters. You can have all of the interests in the world. You can be an expert. You can be the best Toastmaster. But if you don't connect with people and you don't show us your soul, it's not really going to make an impact on people, because people have information overload. They're listening and going through their news feed. They can see all sorts of things. But if they see something which is personal, which connects to you, it's more likely to make an impact. So for that reason, I like to have posts which are personal, which do sometimes have pictures of me, which have private posts, things that I'm going through. And I won't say that this is easy, and I won't also say that this is for everyone. But I will say that the process has helped me become vulnerable, helped me connect with the audience, helped me sort of be who I am. So I do highly recommend that, whatever you're branding, even when you're branding your business, just showing behind the scenes, showing your face, showing the people who are involved, it always helps people feel more like you're connected with them. Then your audience, as Toastmasters, you all are aware that if you forget your audience, then you're talking to no one. So it's important that you are clear that the speakers or the people you're speaking to, they are people, they have desires, they have needs, they're coming to you because you're offering them something. And if you tune into that, you can sort of give them and offer them what they're looking for, and they will keep coming back to you, and you will have an engaged community. So it's important to remember that if you don't know what your community is like, you're going to be talking to everyone. And if you know what your target audience is, for example, for me, I realized, and I looked at the insights and analytics, and I realized that my audience was women who were 20 and above. So I wouldn't talk to them, as if they were elder women, and the experiences that I would share would obviously be relevant to that age group. And in doing so, I won't tell you to water down your voice, because sometimes we try to be this type of person, who is the perfect social media fit, who's doing everything perfectly. All I would say is that if you want to make your personal brand, you have to find a balance between being yourself truly and catering to your audience's needs. Then we come to repurposing photography and relevance. You see, our world is becoming increasingly visual, and Instagram, Facebook will always prioritize the posts which are really appealing. So it's important for you to get better at how you photograph yourself, at the captions that you have. And sometimes this can become really tedious because we have very limited time. So with time, I've started sort of taking content that I have before, I've used it for another purpose, and then I brought it to my social media and repurposed it. That saved a lot of time. So if you can see this post, I had taken this picture for a completely different reason. I was on a trip, and I felt like it represented the feeling of being boxed in. And so I sort of brought that together with the feeling of quarantine. Then my photography skills, as you can see, this was taken by a phone camera, which is not the best of quality. And then I sort of upgraded my skills and started getting better at photography. And my last thing to you would be to find ways to track your progress. So Facebook and Instagram have analytics, and anyone who's been in marketing knows that these are ways that you can measure. So if you see how many people has your post been reaching to, how much has it been engaging, what time do people sort of come online, it will really help you in making your platform. With that, I would say grab every opportunity, whether that's Toastmasters or that's anything else. And so those are my social media handles for you to check out. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, OTM, Rahma, Uneeb, for enlightening us about your social media presence. And now I call upon the next speaker, DTM Talha bin Hamid, and TM Imran Raza is his evaluator. So TM Imran Raza, could you please explain the objectives?
I am honored to evaluate today the ultimate mentor of whole KTC, DTM Talha. He is doing his speech for evaluation and feedback. The purpose of this project is to present a speech on any topic and receive the feedback. His speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. His speech title is Only God Forgives. Over to you, DTM Talha.
A hot summer afternoon in 1991. The city is Quetta, and the location is Raleigh Road. The building is Beacon House Public School. And there, a scrawny, thin teenager is standing along with his friend after the school bell has rung. And we both are waiting for the school bus to come. Ordinarily, this is a time of unmatched happiness for everyone involved. because we are tired, we are hungry, we have just gotten rid of end of the day's food. Now we will sit in the bus and go towards our homes where world's best meal will be waiting for us. And then perhaps we take a nap and then wake up to cartoons on TV, which back then started at exactly 4:35 p.m. in the afternoon. Is it possible to imagine a more blissful existence? And what if, just for this day, just for today, I find myself wishing that all of this happens and Babar is not there on the bus? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, who was this Babar? Babar was a friend's son, and lived in the same colony as us, traveled in the same bus as us. He was 2 years older than me, and due to fate, he had suffered tragedy. He was an orphan, and also he suffered a bit of stunted growth. That's why his voice was squeaky and loud, even though he had broken into teenagers years ago. And that was fine. But you know what? Babar was a bully. He waited for us. When we climbed aboard the bus, he started teasing us. He started commenting on our classes, on our uniforms, because he studied in an Urdu medium school, and we were fortunate enough to be studying at Beacon House. And how was that possible? Because my father had taken out a special discount on fees. For years, I did not see him buy new clothes. I never witnessed an upgrade in our household furniture, and my mother never wore anything but imitation jewelry so that me and my sister could study in an English medium school. And guess what? His being orphan and having stunted growth was no fault of ours. But nevertheless, these two things made him feel entitled to bully us and everyone on the bus. And even after suffering through his bullying and getting off the bus from school and arriving in the safe haven of our homes, I was constantly shivering with rage and shame throughout the day and dreading the next morning when I would have to see Babar again. He had a script because he was a psychopath from the deepest bowels of hell. He had a script written down and he ridiculed everything from our classes to our English, to our families, you name it. And not all of us suffered in silence. There were some kids who sometimes retorted back. And you know what happened then? There would be a loud squeak. How dare you say that to me? Don't you know I am an orphan? And then the bus driver would step in and being the only adult on the bus, he had the authority to resolve the dispute. And how did he resolve it? He called upon the offending party and stood him in front of Babar, because Babar the orphan had the right to rule everyone and make everyone's life miserable. And a simple apology was not enough. Instead, he would routinely receive a slap on the face from Babar. That's when his revenge would be complete. And this happened every 2 or 3 weeks. The school days and the college days passed. And all those years of mine were spent in abject misery. And then I moved to Karachi and forgot all about Babar. And my life considerably improved. But heaven help us. WhatsApp, a group was formed of people who were living in Quetta in the 90s. And I was included in that group. And one day, a message I saw. Please welcome Hamid, from our childhood because his actual name was Hamad. I still don't get why people have 2 or 3 names. But hey, he was royalty, right? And he was living in Qatar because, like all jerks and bullies, he amassed endless wealth and was living abroad. And when I saw his name, my mind went back to those same days in school. And I thought to myself, should I subject myself to this again? Now you would be thinking, man, that was 2-3 decades ago. But tell me one thing, can anyone return those 6 years that I spent in pain and misery? Can anyone repair those permanent psychological scars that I suffered as a result? Absolutely not. You would suggest that, I should forgive him. Why should I forgive him? Did he ask for forgiveness? Absolutely not. Did he do anything to compensate for those lost years? Absolutely not. Forgiveness and generosity are virtues, but not everyone deserves them. And that is why, fellow Toastmasters guests, I believe that only God has endless patience for forgiveness, not us mere humans. And while I could not do anything else, I clicked that heavenly button on the WhatsApp group, exit group, as soon as he joined. And I absolutely don't feel guilty about it. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Talha, for enlightening us with the incident of your childhood. Now I call upon the next speaker, TM Faiya Akhter. She'll be giving her icebreaker and she'll be evaluated by TM Uroosa Kanwal. So please, TM Uroosa Kanwal, could you explain the objectives of the speech?
Yes, Toastmaster Hiba. Toastmaster Faiya will be giving her icebreaker from Dynamic Leadership. Her speech length is 4 to 6 minutes. The purpose of her project is for her to introduce herself to the club and learn a basic structure of public speech. Toastmaster Faiya is the president of Zenith Club and she's a guest here. So over to you, Toastmaster Faiya.
Okay. जिंदगी एक सफर है सुहाना, यहाँ कल क्या हो किसने जाना. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. You must be thinking that जिंदगी एक सफर है सुहाना. Yes, life in the road, it's quite beautiful, but not for the all people. We actually make it a beautiful. So let me share you the story of a girl, because that person not is a person. She is basically a lady, because she is an inspiration icon. She is a dreamer. Yes, seriously, not only one in the world, which she is, because many times she was insulted, but she was keep struggling and dreaming. She is the dreamer and motivation chance as well. The third my childhood picture. In my childhood, I used to cry a lot. Majority of the pictures are so much serious, you can see that. Now, it begins, sometime the journey stopped. The thing is that you never stop yourself. This is the main thing. The way we spend our time defines actually who we are. So let me just share you that how have I spent my time. I've spent my time for getting these all certificates. How did I have get? Just me and my Allah knows. Come towards my other journey because of due to many reasons I have to quit my study in the graduation level. But I did not give up. I start having education again in the shape of Chinese language. Sometimes, whenever I have a leisure time, I prefer to have some calligraphy. Sometimes it's sketching as well, but with the sketching, I love to do its poetry as well, because every picture speaks if we understand that. लेके सुकून अपने जाहिर में बातन में की शोर है, यूं तो समझे शायद हम ही बेबस हैं, मजबूर हैं, लेकिन जूं ही देखा है इस दुनिया निराली को, यहाँ तो हर दूसरा इंसान ही चोर है. It comes from my mind. Sometimes I love to play with the colors as well. As you can see that these all are quarantine days. I love to write my own philosophies and my own quotations. The thing which I got from my experience, I write myself. You are empty when you are full. This is the reality of that. When we feel empty in ourselves, because when we are just full. The other, protect yourself from your own thoughts, because you are only one who can destroy yourself and your only hurdle in your life, who is just stopping you to destiny. Be what you really are, because no one can be you. You really. These are somehow the Urdu which I love. Professionally, I am teacher. This is so much long journey, 9 and the 10 years. I am motivational speaker too. Many times I have given the classes as well. These all are somehow the memories. I love to collect the memories. The other part of my life is my domestic stuff always, where I am working. The upper one picture is the most favorite one picture with my two most favorite aunties who just give me all the time tea. Because this is my habit, nasty habit. I do not prefer to have the cold tea. So they always search myself that where is she to give me a tea. Whether I have crossed 25, but for me, I am still sad. This is my suggestion to all of you, never ever kill your child. There is some more memories because I love nature too. These all are my circles, these all are my life because I love traveling with my friends gathering. If you're talking about Faiya and if you're not talking about the food and outing, so this is not fair. I do NGO working as well with Sare-Am team. This is my personal work. You can see that which I do. This is my family because without family, we are nothing over here. My journey begins with the Toastmaster as a guest at 18th July 2019. And later on in 2020, I have become the president because it's my belief that whenever I escape and run away any place, because I do not want to be a leader, but always God makes me a leader. So finally, I thought that I should be leader. I love to enjoy every movement, whether it's painful as I got the fracture. At the end, just I want to say that this is my profession to all people in my life. They all are my students. Work until you are searched in Google. You can find me in a Google as well. So life means for me, live in present because there is no tomorrow but make for your plan. Ready for future, help to the other people, learn and teach to life. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, TM Akhter, about for giving your icebreaker and enlightening us about yourself. Now, next I call upon the last speaker for the evening, TM Saad Shoaib, and his evaluator, Syed Najam Rizvi. So please, TM Syed Najam Rizvi, could you explain the objectives? of the speech.
Thank you, Iba. Toastmaster Saad Shoaib will be giving a presentation on using presentation software. This, I assume, is from the Mastering Presentation Skills Pathway. The title of his speech is Rest in Peace, Conventional Media, RIP Conventional Media. And basically what he's required to do is he's going to review basic presentation softwares, and he's going to demonstrate the use of these softwares to the audience today. So over to Toastmaster Saad Shoaib.
Am I?
His time is 5 to 7 minutes.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, it's actually been a very long time since I've been at KTC as a speaker, but life came in the way. So now my next speech, as you all know, is about mastering a presentation software, and what better software to use than our very own PowerPoint. So my topic will be digital media marketing. We all know that the conventional media, print media are with time totally being replaced by all these, by Instagram, by Facebook, by Twitter, by WhatsApp, and of course by Zoom, which we are using right now. So this is me. So the first question: what is digital? Once upon a time, these things were very famous: cassettes, floppy, MP3s, and all these were a status symbol of a person. But now times have changed. People have become very much occupied in these digital devices, like smartphones, like tablets, like iPhones, and everything. So now let us talk about what is media. Media is the bridge which combines the thoughts of a device, and also the thoughts of a receiver. Now let's see what these two things put together. Digital media. Mark Zuckerberg, which which we all know, the founder of Facebook said, by giving people the power to share, we are making the world transparent. When you communicate anything through any digital media, that's called digital media. Can be email, can be SMS, can be a call or anything. So these are some common examples of digital media, the websites and also the social media platforms. So what exactly has digital media done? It has totally finished the distance between us. We can connect to people far away like that. Now, what is marketing? Marketing is to make your voice heard, like we say, and we say that if you want to make your voices heard, Toastmaster will get you there. So that's what marketing is. You need to know the place, the product, and the price. So now comes the big thing: digital media marketing. Digital media marketing is basically to spread the range of your message to a large number of audience. You need to engage with the right audience. You need to keep into account the ROI, and also you need to motivate your audience. Now the type of marketing. We have the push marketing. Just leave that. We have the pull marketing. This is just relevant a bit. In the techniques, we have the SEO, we have SEM, we have mobile marketing, and so on. Now when you do it, you need to make sure of these things, which actually affects a lot. So and at the end, and in case of any question, feel free to contact me after the meeting, because my time is way above. So over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, TM Saad Shoaib, for the speech.
Thank you, Team Imran.
Okay, moving on to the third segment of the session, the general evaluation. I call upon the general evaluator for today, TM Uroosa Kanwal. TM Uroosa Kanwal, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Eva. So with the evaluations, the feedback for the speeches, the table topics, So since we had the table topics first, so I'd like to call the table topic evaluator, DTM Shahrukh.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Hello?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Thank you, General Evaluator. So the table topic session, amazingly, all the speakers were the first time speakers or guests, and they took the entire time, which is amazing. Our first Toastmaster was Toastmaster Ansa. Our topic was the right to hope is the most powerful human motivation. Her content was powerful. Her voice modulation was amazing. She was very confident, but the salutations were missing and her video was not working. But she's a passionate speaker. My favorite line from her speech was, "Tomorrow will come." Her conclusion was also good, and I really hope that she will become our member and continue to give amazing speeches. Next speaker was Toastmaster Wajiha. She was given the topic, "One book, one pen, one child, one teacher can change the world." Her hand gestures were amazing. Her voice modulation was great. She had a great content, and she really connected with the audience when she said that education can change. And she also shared with us her voluntary work, the voluntary work she does for the community services. But again, there was some connectivity problem. I really hope that she will become our member in the future. Next speaker was Toastmaster Naveed Sheikh. The topic given to him was "Only in the darkness you can see the star." He's a very talented speaker, I must say. He was very comfortable addressing to all of us, very soft spoken and connected to the audience. But unfortunately, there was no video, so we could not see his facial expression and his body language. The best line from his speech was, "Hopelessness teaches new things in your life," which is amazing. Again, I would really like to see more speeches from him and wish for him to join us and become our permanent member. Our fourth speaker was Toastmaster Karim. He was given the topic, "Education is the most powerful weapon used to change the world." Great content, voice modulation was there. The great line was, "You learn it and you earn it." As a speaker, he has a secret superpower, which most of us Toastmasters take ages to develop. Sometimes that is the use of pause. He brilliantly used pauses. And again, I hope to see him become our member. Our next speaker was Syeda. "If you have choice, choose the best. No choice, do the best." She had a great takeoff. Her opening was amazing. She was very comfortable. Her content was great. Her voice modulation was great. But unfortunately, there was no video, and in the middle, the connectivity problem. Due to connectivity problem, she could not continue to give a speech. So that was a shame. But from the beginning of the speech or the part she was able to successfully deliver, I was amazed and I was really impressed. I could not even believe that she was speaking here for the first time. So Syeda, congratulations. Our last speaker was Toastmaster Hassan, and he was given the topic, "Do what is right, not what is easy." As soon as he was asked to speak, he took the charge, started speaking to us. He was very comfortable. Voice modulation was there. Eye contact was there. It is very difficult to make eye contact in online meetings due to the because we need to because we need to develop this habit of watching to the camera and pretending that yes, people are over there. Great eye contact, great contact, and the great line from his speech was, "Shortcut would take you to unexpected places." So I think he was presenting this line in more of a negative way, but I sort of took it in a positive way. Overall, great performance by all the speakers, except the salutation was missing. Amazing speeches by everyone. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, DGM Shahrukh. Our next evaluator, since he asked for it, Toastmaster Ali Hassan for TM Mariam.
Assalamualaikum and thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster. So I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Mariam Arif, 2 ways through which coronavirus pandemic benefited the world. And I would say a wonderfully delivered and a carefully crafted speech. And it was a great combination of your strengths. Obviously, like always, your strength outweighs your areas of improvement. Starting with the strengths in your speech, it had a great greeting. And the best part was your hand gestures. Your hands were always moving around, perfectly in line with the content of your speech. And then above all, you were making the best utilization of the space allotted for the speech. And to engage on the entire audience, you had the examples from your daily life, as in the changes in shopping, medical services, even Toastmasters meeting. That's something we could all relate to. And although it was really hard to figure out the areas of improvement of a champion that has secured positions a lot of times, still I managed to figure out a few that could help us and that would help you to grow even further as orator. First of all, the vocal variety. In most part of your speech, the vocal variety was kind of anxious, kind of engaging. But then it has to slow down a bit at times when you are making, just giving any explanation, you can just lower your vocal variety. And when you want to engage us, you can become curious. You can make us more engaging. Most of the time, it was like a kind of curious tone for the entire speech. Then it was good that you had the examples from the daily life, but it would have been even better if you could add any anecdote that could help us explain how it benefited you in terms of digitalization or the decrease in the emission of harmful gases. So an anecdote would have been more engaging. And I would like to appreciate the choice of words you made. That was amazing. That's the real strength of your speech. And just to like challenge yourself, you can make any anecdote a real one or a crafted one that would engage the audience even more. And then by highlighting all the positives in this dark era of 2020 through your careful selection of the words and excellent delivery of the speech, you aced this project of research. You did it in the best possible way. Congratulations on completing the project. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Ali Hassan. Now I'd like to call DTM Talha bin Hamid for DTM Maria's speech.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. So DTM Maria is not here, but as per past practice, you will see the video of her evaluation. And I'll also provide her the evaluation sheet. So Toastmaster DTM Maria was actually doing the evaluation and feedback, the second project, and she did broadly the same speech in the first instance, and she incorporated the feedback received on that in the second speech. So I do recall the feedback that she received in the first. So first, the positives, the things that she really did well. First of all, she really improved her camera angle. Yes, it was not ideal even today, but it was far better than before. Today, she had a very confident start, and she did a very good bit of world building in the start. So she took us to our childhoods and about the Independence Day celebrations. You actually created a really good environment and a very nostalgic environment, I must say. Your voice has a very good flow. In fact, sometimes that flow is musical, and that is one of your great assets, and you should use it more often. You have a natural fluency and a natural confidence, and so those are your great assets, and they were at full display. Now the improvement areas, first of all, you once again mentioned that today the topic of my speech is, and then you also mentioned, I will conclude my speech. That always, I have a beef with those statements because they always take the listener out of the speech and remind them that they're listening to a speech. You asked the audience a question, but didn't wait for an answer. Instead, you didn't give a pause and just straight moved on. You're clasping hands most of the time. Maybe you were steepling them, but I saw as clasping. So maybe I was mistaken there. Your speech did not have any breathers or any breaks. It went on very, very uniformly, and it could have used some breaks. And last but not the least, the project was, sorry, I was mistaken about the project. It was researching and presenting. So it's true that Toastmasters Pathways is very, very liberal about what defines research. So what you delivered during this speech broadly falls into the category of researching as defined in this project. But conventional meaning of research means that you do consult some sources and you quote those sources and you quote some facts and figures. So that was kind of missing. So perhaps a way to improve this speech would be to incorporate some hard facts about independence and the practice of decoration and perhaps the sales of the various materials relating to the decoration. But overall, a great speech and a very nostalgic topic for all of us. We hope that you continue speaking and you continue to flow, continue to improve your delivery. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Talha. Now for the next evaluation, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali for Toastmaster Ali Ashar's speech.
I am balancing myself, but I'm sure because I'm standing on top of my giant, I will not fall. A speaker like this with a title, Standing on the Giant of Shoulders, was amazing. It gives me an extra energy to think, who was my giant? I learned driving, yes. I had amazing time watching films, food, pulling legs of my family members. Yes, my father taught me everything. Plus, he is still standing with me whenever I feel uncomfortable or disbalanced. This is a mentor in life who, TM Ali Ashar, my target speaker, make me realize who is the giant I am standing on. When I joined Toastmasters, same like he is fortunate to have a very lucky mentor. In Kuwait, I have Toastmaster DTM Anil, who is bold because I've completed my year and just joined 3-4 months in Karachi Toastmasters. And I can see my mentor, DTM Talha, he's about to get bold very soon. So I am a very heavy responsibilities on each and every mentor I am there. My target speaker, TM Ali, he was very much acceptable of audience available in front of him. He did not show any of his weakness while being off the audience, on the camera. He was perfectly there. Clarity, easily understood language. And he had always kept an eye contact, which was amazing. But then, of course, every good speech has to go better and then the best. What I would like to add, and this is only a suggestion from my side, that when you were talking about saying something about the personal experiences, you can just relate a little bit of voice modulation. And secondly, I saw a little extra movement of yours. When you want to emphasize something, when you want to give a punchline, make sure you stand still. Of course, when you're sharing your journey, you have to move. But when you're sharing
incident where you have to conclude with a punchline, you please stand at that place. It will give an amazing impact. Physical gestures are a little bit overdosed, but then yes, you can work on this. Finally, I would really appreciate one more time on same amazing speech for your next project. Thank you and congratulations for completing your level 2. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, TM Latif. Thank you, TM Latif.
You deserve it, buddy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latif. Now I'd like to call Toastmaster Mariam for Toastmaster Amir's evaluation.
Yeah, Mariam, you're not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes.
Okay. Toastmaster Amir's story was about a survivor of a bomb blast and an accident. First of all, I'd like to commend you on using a personal story instead of some other well-known fiction or someone else's story, because personal stories are always a very good way of helping your audience connect with your story. So kudos to you on that. Now, your story was, your speech was a very well-organized speech because you did not just have one story. You had two stories that were interlinked together with a central theme and a central message. And you explicitly even mentioned that message in the end and ended it on a positive note. What I liked about your speech as well was the details that you had. Like whenever you were mentioning the advices in the beginning, you made sure that you number them and you show those numbers with your gestures. How you mentioned the date and the time of the events, and how descriptive and expressive you were with your experiences. I mean, I could literally visualize and really imagine all that you were going through, all that pain, all that sorrow, all of it. I felt that I was there with you at that experience, at that scene. Now, so you were a very good storyteller because you were very organized and you were very expressive. Now, towards things that you can improve upon is that in order to make your story even more intriguing and even more interesting, how about you also act it out a bit? And how can you act it out a bit? For that, I'd like to give you 3 suggestions. First of all, by making meaningful movements. Number 2, through dialogues. And number 3, through vocal variety. Now, how can you do that? Where can you add meaningful movements in your speech? Like when you were giving advices and your teacher was telling you, you should run. Maybe how about you show us run and make those meaningful movements in your speech as well. For instance, when you were saying that, okay, I was driving on that road, maybe show us that you were driving by moving your hand and showing us that you were driving, and we can imagine a steering wheel. So through those gestures, we can better visualize your experiences. Then you can add vocal variety. Now, how can you do that? Like whenever you go towards the climax, you have some changes in your voice, in your speed as well. So when you were saying that, okay, and I was driving, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, another driver overtook me. So that is when you can speed up a bit. And then you can say bang or crash, and then you slow down. And then you're like, my car was dragged to, I don't know, 25 meters or what. And I was devastated at that point. So that point you slow down, but I didn't know what to do. And I had 2 options. So, it kind of heightens the tension even more. And then You can even add some more dialogues. Like when you went into the club and when you had that conversation with Toastmaster Imran, Toastmaster Asghar, how about you show us that communication and the dialogues happen? Like when Toastmaster Asghar asked you, what happened? When Toastmaster Imran asked you, you were bleeding. So, you know, having more vocal variety and dialogues and meaningful movements is how you can make your story even more interesting. But overall, it was very well organized and very well summarized. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mariam. Now I'd like to call Toastmaster Imran Rana for Toastmaster Rahma Uneeb's evaluation.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Uroosa. We don't have a choice on whether we do social media. The question is how well we do it. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today Toastmaster Rahma was sharing some aspects of her experience about establishing or enhancing a social media presence. What an amazing speech you just delivered, Toastmaster Rahma. I know Toastmaster Rahma as a good speaker, a good Toastmaster, a slam poet. Today I got to know how well she has captured social media presence. And I would like to congratulate you on this. She come up with an amazing presentation. I really liked your slides. Colors were amazing. Content were visible and clear. You explained every point very clear in detail about how to select a social media, about what to share, finding common threads and link different groups of interest, how to water down your voice, and the ways to track the progress. You explained them in detail. And finally, the strong, persuasive message that grabbed every opportunity that will help you to enhance your social media presence. Amazing speech. I hardly found any area of improvement in today's speech. Since you were delivering a presentation, and it is very difficult to see the speaker, but I just clicked your screen and show you were very persuasive. Your vocal variety was extremely good. It's very difficult to engage the audience throughout in a speech which have slides, but you nailed it today. I'm sure we were deeply engaged till you said, over to you, Toastmaster. I would like to congratulate you on delivering such an amazing and engaging speech. Congratulations, Toastmaster Rahma, once again, and over to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Uroosa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. Now I'd like to call Toastmaster Imran Raza for DTM Talha's evaluation.
Thank you, TM Uroosa. Am I audible?
Yes, perfectly.
So, the mentor of the mentor, DTM Talha, your speech title was Only God Can Forgive. I don't know how you will forgive me today after this evaluation. Your speech, Only God Can Forgive, was very emotional, was very amazing. And you spoke about very emotional story of your childhood and how someone bullied you. Your speech was organized like it has proper opening, body, and by your emotions, which were very strong. And at least I have never seen you like this. I can feel how you have gone through all this. So your eye contacts, audience engagement, and hand gesture clarity was excellent, and all were at par. Although it was very hard to figure out any areas of improvement from your speech, but the only thing I felt was your vocal variety sometimes was too loud. Maybe due to the mic, I don't know. And you can also give more pauses. Like in few parts of your speech, you were very emotional. So you can give pauses maybe. All in all, it was a very excellent structured speech and presented very well. Over to you, Team Uroosa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. Now I'd like to call Toastmaster Najam for Toastmaster Saad's evaluation.
Toastmaster Saad Shoaib gave a presentation on presentations. Basically on presentation softwares and what can be used for digital marketing. His story was about digital marketing, and I believe, if I'm not wrong, that that is also his occupation. Is that so? Saad, can you hear me? I think that's your profession also.
That's why he's the VP PR.
Okay, let's move on. Well, you made very...
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay, fine. You made very an outstanding presentation in terms of the presentation slides themselves. You had them nicely spaced out, one topic on a slide, on a single slide, so there was no clutter. You also avoided reading out from the slides, which is a common mistake that we make when presenting using slides, that we just read them out. You just had enough material on it to catch the audience's attention, and you explained what you wrote there. The overall presentation was very well organized. You started talking about how digital marketing will take over and how it is cost effective. And now I'd like to give a few suggestions. Maybe you could have included or mentioned a campaign, a digital marketing campaign, which was carried out by any company, and how you could give examples of good campaigns and good examples of unsuccessful campaigns. And what was the point? What were the attributes of the positive good campaigns? And maybe you could also give some figures on a comparison of conventional marketing vis-a-vis digital marketing. So that would really appeal to an audience who would be interested in going into digital marketing. Now, another point that I'd like to add is that you had basically the focus was your presentation, right? But you were also making a presentation of yourselves. So perhaps even in this case, you could have given the presentation standing up. That would have facilitated use of your gestures, your vocal variety, because when you're sitting down, your lungs do not move as freely as when you're standing up. So you can't use that vocal variety, range of vocal variety sitting down that you can do using standing up. And another suggestion is that when you're doing a presentation like this, which you feel will run longer than your allocated time, request extra time before you start. And I'm sure the president would be kind enough to give you that extra time. Over to the president and general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Najam. And lastly, Toastmaster Faiya's evaluation, which will be done by me since she's not here. So Toastmaster Faiya started with a song, and I think her song really encapsulated the whole spirit that she has. Her life really tells us a lot about the free and vulnerable spirit that she is. So she showed us what her hobbies are, what her family is like, the achievement, the growth, and then her entry into Toastmasters and how she climbed towards presidentship. What I really liked about her speech was the fact that it was completely visual. She used a PowerPoint presentation to talk about herself, tell us how much and how her life has progressed, whether it was graduation, whether it was family, whether it was, a social media account, it was all there on the presentation to share. This is something new, and this is something we can try out. Now, where she could improve on, I think Toastmaster Faiya could improve on the language that she was using. Her quotations were really properly phrased, but her spoken word can do a little bit of improvement. I suggest, for such things, maybe she can try writing down the speech and then, running it through grammar checks. And then she can also practice the speech in front of the camera, which I felt that she was a little bit lacking in the speech preparation as well. Now, with professions where we tend to speak a lot, in teaching professions and all, we tend to also think that, okay, the prepared speech is just like a class that we take. But prepared speeches are entirely different. So that also needs a little bit of preparation. She also used Urdu phrases, which she could have translated. Again, her presentation, although it was really nice, it came out really good. There was a little bit of information overload. She could have kept it a little concise in some places. It was a really, really good speech by Toastmaster Faiya. What really stood out was her confidence, that she spoke with complete confidence. She really did not care who was listening, how many people were listening. And that is what a prepared speech should, or speaker should be like, not really caring about other things. So that was it. Back to the general evaluator. So Toastmaster Amir, how far are we with the votes?
We are done and ready.
Right, please announce.
All right, so I won't be wasting much time, and let us begin with table topic session. And I would require your guesses on that. Who do you think spoke really well?
Guest Ansa Amir.
Okay.
Ansa, Wajiha, Naveed, Karim, and Syeda. And finally, Hassan. Please select the best option.
Answer, you don't want to go home?
All right, so I won't be wasting much time. Let me announce someone who was finding any club in Pakistan and was so mesmerized finding Karachi Toastmasters club.
Naveed. Karim and Naveed both. Please make them member.
So she is Ansa Ahmed. Congratulations, Miss Ansa. All right.
She is the third member.
Yeah, inshallah. All right. Next we have Big Four. And for Big Four, what do you think?
TM Latif.
TM Latif.
All right. So the best Big Four is someone who kind of evaluated someone in a unique way and jumped from like a mountain to the earth.
Latif.
Toastmaster Latif. He is someone who brings, I really feel who brings joy to our meeting, and it's always interesting to see him having some roles. So congratulations, TM Latif. And the third, we have best evaluator. Who do you think best evaluator was?
I think again TM Latif.
Mariam.
Not me. Not me.
TM Latif.
Someone who evaluated an inspiring storyteller.
Mariam Arif.
Yes, she is TM Mariam Arif. Congratulations, TM Mariam, for evaluating me. And I really thank you for a detailed and productive evaluation. And now
he's the best speaker. That's why he kept for last.
All right. The last award we have is for the best prepared speaker, and I would require your help here as well.
TM Amir Bilal.
Amir Bilal.
Okay.
It's definitely Toastmaster and
Sorry,
Rahma.
Mariam. Sorry, Mariam. Yeah, it's Amir Bilal.
Toastmaster Amir Bilal is the best prepared speaker by a unanimous decision, and and number of votes. But I would like to take a minute and mention a few things here. I'm really thankful for all the support everybody is giving me, and this is something which is really different. Whenever I'm a vote counter, I perform incredibly well. So I think I should be booking myself
Keep
for
on
all
doing
the...
it.
It's quite convenient actually.
Yeah, keep on doing it.
And one more thing is, it was more like an impromptu speech. I wasn't really prepared because I had already presented my project last Sunday in Storytellers, and
Secret critic, take note.
all I had in my mind were my thoughts. I just had to organize them and deliver here. And I'm really, really surprised by seeing the result, in prepared speech, by delivering impromptu speech, I can still perform really well. So I would like to thank everyone who voted for me, and congratulations all the winners for today's meeting. It was great to be part of this.
Bravo, buddy, bravo.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amir. So today's Critics' Choice goes to Toastmaster Mariam. And the Critics' Choice for the Best Facilitator goes to guest room.
Toastmaster Shamam.
Toastmaster.
Yeah, someone was really busy.
Toastmaster Shamam, yes.
Deserved.
Yeah. So let's sign off for today, and let's meet next week. We are meeting tomorrow, so let's meet tomorrow, and then inshallah next week.
Yes, everyone's invited.
Thank you for joining.
We'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Let's meet tomorrow.
All right. See you guys.